Hi, good afternoon. Hey, Elaine. Hi, Aya. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Hi, Bahar. Thanks for joining. Hi, Barbara. Happy Eid. Hey, Jules. Happy Eid to those of you who are celebrating. And let's go ahead and get started because this is going to go on the live 24 hours. So thank you so much for joining today, and sorry we missed class last week. As those of you know who've been doing the classes, that every week we target a different theme, a different part of the brain, and the whole class is themed to target that part of the brain. So we've actually done a whole run through all the lobes between myself, Juliet, and Marianne. So we're kind of repeating the lobes now. That doesn't mean the class is going to be the same. It's different, but the same focus is on the cerebellum today. So today's class is a cerebellum class. The cerebellum in your brain lives here at the back of your brain, and it's responsible for posture, coordination, balance, amongst so many other things. It's actually considered your mini brain. It's hugely important. So basically with this cerebellum, you've got a right half and you've got a left half. So the first thing we're going to do is do a little test to see which side is more dominant. And I've been talking about this all of last week pretty much, this part of the brain. So that's why I thought it would be a good idea to do a cerebellum class today. So some of you know these already, but go ahead and just, while you're sitting down, or go ahead and sit down, take your hands and fingers together, place them on your thighs, and just start to tap your hands like this into supination and pronation, going faster and faster and faster each time, and just notice which side is unable to keep up. And you may know already, you may not. If you don't, just take your arms out in front of you like this, and then go ahead and do the same. Pronation, supination, and just start to go faster and faster and faster and faster until one arm starts to go a little flippery and feels like it's lagging or out of your control. If you're still not sure, go ahead and do some finger tapping like this. Take your index and thumb together. Index is your second finger. Go as fast as you can, fast as you can, fast as you can, until you identify which side is your less coordinated side. So on that less coordinated side, we're going to do more like spiral coordination type movements. And on the more coordinated side, we're going to do more linear type movements. So hopefully you should have had an obvious difference. The cerebellum is also in charge of keeping us upright against gravity and maintaining our posture. So we're going to do a lot of extension exercise today, and a lot of exercises that target our glutes, our hamstrings, and our back muscles as well. That will target the midline cerebellum. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to start standing tall. So what's there? And go ahead and inhale, take your hands together like this. And as you exhale, take them round and down. Inhale, reach your back of the wrist together and lift. Exhale, take it round and down. Again, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Float the arms down. Now just roll your shoulders one at a time back. Right, then left. Right, and left. And start to add a little bit of rib rotation as well, like you're kind of dancing. Take your right shoulder back, your body moves back, left shoulder back, and just move your body with the line of your shoulders. Going backwards, easy movement. Now take your right arm to your left shoulder on the inhale. Exhale, circle it round and back. Take your left arm up, and then exhale, take it back. As if you're doing backstroke swimming. Inhale. Exhale, take it back. Breathe in. And exhale, take it back. Take both hands together now. Inhale, reach back into a soft extension. Exhale, squat down and rotate. Inhale, take your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, squat down, rotate with your trunk. And breathe in. We're going to inhale. Soft extension. Exhale, we go back. Stay here now. Let's warm up our thoracic spine because we're going to do a lot of thoracic mobilizations today. Take that left arm and follow it as you inhale. Try and see your hand and rotate as far as you can. Bring the palms back together again. Inhale, arch back. Exhale, turn the opposite way. Follow your right arm as far as you can, twist. Take it back to each other, both hands together. Inhale, extend. Let's do one more time on each side, but with a little bit of speed. Twist, open, close, extend back. Twist and squat, open, close, extend. Let's do one more on each time actually again. Twist, open, close, extend back. One more time. Twist, open, close, extend back. Circle the arms back around. Take your arms out to the side now and extend your wrists like this. And you'll feel a little bit of nerve flossing happening, or a little bit of a nervy feeling reaching out of from the neck all the way out into your fingertips. Some of you may feel this is strong, and some of you may feel this very subtle. Depress your shoulders to feel a slightly stronger nerve conduction, and then circle your arms so that your fingers are pointing down and your shoulders externally rotate, and then internally rotate your shoulders so that your fingers are pointing inward. And then just keep rotating your arms like this, and imagine your arms are being pulled apart. And just notice the different nerves that you put tension on as you rotate your arms inward or outward like this. Move them gradually to the front of your body into shoulder flexion. And notice how you slacken the nerves here. Keep rotating from the shoulders rather than just the hands. Moving out again to the sides of your body, and notice how you increase the nerve tension here. Now keep your fingers pointing down. Take your ear to one side. Come back center. Take your ear to the opposite side. And again, notice what happens to the nerves as you take your ear away from the arm. Does that increase the nervy feeling running through the arms? One more time on each side. Now come back to center. Now you're going to relax your dominant arm. So for those of you who came later and didn't do the test, let's just go with your non-dominant side is going to stay up. So for most of you, I'm assuming it's going to be left. Your non-dominant side stays up, or your less coordinated side stays up. And then you're going to go in this position. You're going to go touch your index and thumb together. Touch your index and touch your thumb and middle finger together. Touch your thumb and ring finger together. Touch your thumb and pinky finger together. So you go index, middle, ring, pinky. Index, middle, ring, pinky. Index, middle. Go as fast as you can now. Challenging your coordination while you're in nerve floss, while you're doing the nerve floss. And to increase it, if you don't feel too much of the nerve, you can take your ear away from the arm like this and just keep flicking your fingers very, very quickly. This is an exercise they give for stroke rehab, but without the nerve floss. So we're just adding a little bit of intensity to it, a little bit more challenge. Can you keep the tempo? Can you keep the coordination of those finger taps? Or are they lagging a little now? And relax. And then just do a roll down. Notice how you feel. Or compare how the arms actually feel. Does one side now feel more connected, more awake than the other? And then roll down vertebra by vertebra. Again, still noticing the difference in how the arms feel, one side to the other. Allow your head to just hang heavy. Breathe in to stay. And breathe out to roll up. For those of you who came later, today's theme is the cerebellum, in charge of our that part of the brain that's in charge of our posture, coordination, our balance. Stand now on your less coordinated side. So depending on the testing that you did, stand on your less coordinated side or your less dominant side. Again, for most of you, that will be your left foot. So if you're a typical right-hander, just stand on your left foot and just switch it around if you're the other way. Okay, now we said that the cerebellum is also in charge of keeping us upright against gravity and activating our glutes, hamstrings, our back muscles, all of these parts. So keep a soft bend in the knee, and we're going to do like a single leg deadlift, keeping a very, very, very flat back. Reach down, straightening. Let me do it sideways so you can see. Straightening the back leg, keeping a stiff leg on the bent knee. Go as low as you can where you're able to stay neutral, and then go ahead and drive your heel into the floor to lift you back up again. And let's repeat. So we're coming down, really thinking of the pressure of the heel against the floor so you can actually feel your glutes and hamstrings on the left side, and then slowly come back up. If your spine flexes at all, you won't feel it so much in the glute and hamstring. So as you're coming down, think proud chest, proud chest, proud chest, proud chest. Really arched back. Almost think of sticking your bottom out. And then come forward again. Let's do 2 more. Feel how connected your foot feels to the ground today. Reach, 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 reach. Pause for a second at the bottom where you really feel your glutes and hamstrings, and then press your heel into the floor to lift you up again. Last time. Reach, pause, and then slowly come back up again. Keeping that same foot on the floor, we're going to take our right leg forward into a lunge and then push back into a reverse lunge. So the foot or the leg that you're trying to improve the balance on, the weaker side cerebellum, your less coordinated side, should be the one in the middle. The other one is moving back and forth. Let's do another 5. 5. And keep your feet very light here. 4. If you've got any knee trouble, just stick to reverse lunges. They usually feel better. 3. You don't have to get your knees touching the floor at all. You can make these very shallow depending on your energy and how you feel today. And last one. 1. Balance again on the left leg or on your less coordinated side. Now go ahead and take that same position, that single leg deadlift position, and stare at your thumb in front of you. Make a thumbs up. Stare at your thumb in front of you. Challenge your balance now by keeping your eyes locked on your thumb and rotate your head from side to side, keeping your eyes locked on your thumb. If you fell like me, just have your back foot lightly touching the floor if you want a modification. The faster you move your head, the stronger this is. 1 more on each side, or the more challenging it is, I should say. And come back to center. And now notice how that leg feels compared to the other leg. Does it feel different? Does it feel more connected to your brain? Do a roll down at the back of your mat. Noticing if your range of motion has changed at all. And then slowly roll up. We're going to roll down to a plank now. So roll down to a plank or a leg pull front position. Walk your hands out. Hold. Take a moment here. Focus on your breath. Focus on the energy flowing through the arms. We're going to come down very slowly in one block for 10 counts. If this feels too advanced for you, come down onto your knees and then come down in 10 counts to lay on your stomach. We're just going down on our stomach very gracefully, very slowly. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should be halfway. 6, 7, 8. Don't fall. 9. Softly touch the ground. Softly land. Rest your head under your hands. Take a few breaths now, just pushing your abdominals into the floor with your inhalations. And then as you exhale, let the abdominals rise. And notice how the breath changes the position of your pelvis and lower back. Notice what happens when you inhale and when you exhale. And then we're going to bend both knees. And with your dominant, more coordinated side, I'd like you to just flex and point your ankle. Just flex and point your ankle, but see if you can do that without involving your toes. Can you keep your toes floppy? So if you're like most people, it's the right side that's going to be the dominant one, so you should be doing this with your right side. And now start to add left ankle circles at the same time. So your less coordinated side, which is, I'm assuming, left side for most of you, is going to be doing circles, and your more coordinated side is going to be doing point and flex. Can they move independently without you looking at them? Change direction of the circle. And relax. Straighten your legs now and lengthen your right leg so much so that it hovers above the ground. So energize that right leg so it really hovers above the ground. And feel the lift coming from the glute and the upper fibers of your hamstring. And then pull your heel towards your knee and contract your hamstring there by pressing your pubic bone strongly into the floor and pulling your heel towards your knee. Got a lot of flies today, actually. We're holding 5. You should feel your hamstring now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Energize your left leg so it hovers above the ground so the knee floats up. And then pressing your pubic bone into the floor, pull your heel towards the bottom. For 8, 7, 6, pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Now energize both legs. Lift the backs of the knees to the ceiling. Lift both legs up together and just start with basic swimming kicks. Noticing if your back is twisting or your lower back or pelvis is twisting. How stable can you keep it as you swim the legs slowly, switching from one side to the other. There's a lot of glute work in today's class, so we're just warming up the glutes. Slowly. 1, 2. Slowly switch. 1, 2. Make sure your knees are not bending whatsoever. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now go fast as you can with the kicks. Swim, swim, swim. Keep your breath just flowing. Swim. Kick, 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 kick. And relax. Now take your arms in front of you with the palms down. Lift your chest ever so slightly. Take your right arm, follow it round, up, 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 as if it's trying to reach your right heel. Come all the way back down again and relax. Push down into the right palm and inhale to lift the left arm, follow it round as if it's trying to reach the left heel, and then come all the way up and down forward. Again, right arm goes up as the left hand pushes down, and then exhale, return. Use the inhale to help you. Inhale, we reach up, trying to touch the left heel. Exhale to come down. Let's do one more time on each side. We go up. Notice any restrictions here in your thoracic spine or your neck or your shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Lift the legs again. Take the arms again up to hover. Kick your legs. Get the legs going on autopilot. Get the legs going, kicking on autopilot. Lift your arms as high as you can as they go round to the dart position at the back. Lift the arms as high as you can as they come up by your ears. And we're going to do 5 of these. The arms are moving slow. The legs are moving fast. Can you coordinate the difference between these two? The arms moving slow. The legs moving fast. Your breath is nice and slow. Keep the legs going. Keep the legs going. Arms lifting as high as you can to the ceiling. Remember, today we really want to work our extensor muscles and remind our brain of their existence. Keep the left leg going in particular, or your less coordinated side will start to lag. You'll notice it now, starting to lag. Can you keep the beat? Can you keep the speed with your legs? One more. Back and forth. Hold and relax. Wiggle your bottom side to side just to loosen up any tension you would have felt in the lower back. Lovely. Go ahead now and rotate to the side. So, when we're here, what we're going to do is have, so this transition might be not so smooth for you, but I'd like your less coordinated side at the bottom and your more coordinated side at the top facing the ceiling. So your right leg facing the ceiling, left leg is bent. I know on me it looks like I'm switched, but my right leg is actually the one that's towards the ceiling. My left leg is bent. Lengthen your top waist and just do some plain linear leg lifts. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And as you lift the leg, focus on lifting from the hip joint, keeping the top waist long, the bottom waist lifted and short. So with the cerebellum, it's like a competition between the two halves. The more right-handed you are, the less left-handed you become. The more the right cerebellum is getting fed lots of activation from the body, the more the left side cerebellum is inhibited. So what we're trying to do in this class is to activate or wake up the neurons of the left half to inhibit the right. And inhibition often comes from linear movement, plain simple movement, and activation comes from complex, more spiral type movement. So that's why on your right side or on your more coordinated side, we're just doing these plain leg lifts. Some of you are doing this with your left, especially if you're left-handed. Now go plain, boring side kicks. We go forward and back, and really try and disassociate your leg from your pelvis and lower back, and notice how much range do you have where you can move your leg in the socket without moving your spine and pelvis. Good. Let's go one more time on each side. Or one more time forward, backward. And then just do some plain circles. And on the opposite side, we're going to do some more spiral, exciting stuff. So circle, really focusing on how smooth that circle is. Putting the accent in the back portion of the circle because most of us need to work on our hip extension. And then change direction of the circle. Keep the energy through the leg. Keep imagining the leg is getting longer and longer and longer. And hold. Keep the energy up there as you come up onto your elbow. And then, since midline cerebellum, the middle of the cerebellum is glutes and hamstrings and back, we're just going to wake these up a little bit more. So just fire into your glutes a little bit more. Up 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Now go up and back with the leg. Up and back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. And then slowly take it down. Take it across like this and stretch it out. Rotate towards your bent leg and feel that stretch in the glutes. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to glue our legs together here. So we're going to sit just back off our sit bones, and we're going to reach our arms forward and just lift. For today's class, keep your breath very flowing, and it doesn't have to be too synchronized with the movement. Just let it flow naturally. So lift your breastbone here, and then as you come down, maybe sit towards the front end of your mat. so that you're really sitting on your jeans back pockets as you're trying to roll down to a very classical 100 position, and then roll back up again. Now, if you feel you've stopped rolling on your jeans back pockets and you're starting to arch, then only go as far as your lower back feels like it's getting rounder. Please don't feel like you have to touch the floor. So roll down and stop only as low, go only as low as you feel your lower back is getting rounder. Hold in that pause, in that position for like 2 counts, and then slowly come up. And again, we're reaching the arms long towards the front. We're really sitting on our jeans back pockets. So we're really imagining our sit bones traveling to our heels. And then we're lifting the breastbone as we inhale. Go for an exhale actually on this one because it will help you. So exhale, close the ribs, sit on the back pockets, send your sitting bones to your heels, and then slowly come back up again. Let's do it a little faster now. Can we keep the same control even when we're moving fast? So we go 8. If you're feeling this in your lower back, chances are you're actually starting to arch and you're not posteriorly tilting your pelvis enough. So just place your hands on the floor and feel free to just do single leg even. It doesn't have to be double. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. Hold 5, 4. Reach your arms long to your heels. 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Make sure you're sitting in the middle of your mat now. We're going to reach the legs to the side and then sit. Reach the legs to the other side and then sit. And your elbow can come down to help. Actually do whatever you want with your arms that's going to help this look as effortless and not clumsy. So you can choose what to do with the arms, but basically you want to kick your legs one way. I'm choosing to do this with my arms, and then I push off with my arms a little to help me send the legs the other way. But also feel like the movement is coming from your center, from your core. Now this is just a transition. Reach and reach. If you push off with your arms a lot, it actually is a nice little cheat. And reach and finish with the other side that you didn't do yet. So lay down on your side, bottom leg bent, or your more coordinated side should be bent now. Your less coordinated side should be up towards the ceiling. Lengthen your top waist. Take a moment to really feel the energy of the leg getting longer. And now let's start to draw some vertical 8s. We want to get the cerebellum's attention on this side, which comes usually with these spiral type movements or things that the brain has to think about. So draw an 8. Make sure the 8's not here in front of you, but the center of the 8 is in line with your pelvis. You can play around with different speeds. Explore your coordination when you're moving slow, when you're moving fast. But if it's choppy when you're moving fast, go back to slow so the brain can pattern that movement. Change direction. How does it feel, this 8? Is it actually an 8 or not? Now draw horizontal figure of 8s. Like you're drawing a ribbon. Keep your bottom waist lifted. Keep the energy really long in the leg. Feel like the leg is just getting longer and longer. Change direction of the 8. And really imagine that your foot has a pen on it or a chalk, and it's drawing that circle. Or it's drawing that 8 or infinity sign. The drink, imagine there's a drink here, nice and stable on your hip. And especially as the leg starts to fatigue, notice if you can keep the coordination. Come up on your elbow now, and instead of just doing pulses up, let's try draw our the alphabet. So draw your name, write your name with your leg. You decide if you want to do it in capitals or in lowercase. How's that handwriting? Write your full name, just to work it a bit more. Middle name and surname included. If you've got a very short name, just go to any name that you remember. It's interesting when you say, what's the first name that pops into your head? That's always interesting. What name pops into your head that's not yours? I've got a very long name, so I'm still going. Hold, energize, 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 and then take it across and twist towards your leg. Lovely. Go ahead and straighten your legs out in front of you. Drum your knees in this hamstring stretch, hands on the floor. Start drumming, 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 and lead with your non-dominant side. So lead, if you're like most people, try and lead the drumming with your left leg. And notice if it starts to lose coordination. Can we keep the pattern? Can we keep the rhythm, I mean? And relax. Well done. Lengthen nice and tall. And then we're just going to do a little bit of thoracic spine mobility because we're going to go down and do more posterior work. So while you're sitting tall, go ahead and bend your left leg. And then take your arms out to the side and try and lengthen as much as you can. And then as you exhale, twist towards the bent leg. Twist as far as you can towards the bent leg. And then come back to center. Exhale, twist as far as you can towards the bent leg. And then come back to center. Keep repeating that same side. Twist as far as you can towards the bent leg. And come back to center. Twist. Inhale, lengthen. And as you twist, focus on not trying to stay too tall, but slacken your spine a bit as you twist so you can go further. And then inhale, grow really, really tall. As you exhale, twist, slackening the spine a little bit. And then inhale, grow tall. Now see if you can take your eyes to the direction that you're twisting to see if you can get a little bit of extra range. Keeping the neck neutral, nose in line with sternum. See if you can take your eyes to the left or in the direction you're turning. And then center and twist. And center. Twist and hold. Hug the leg now with the opposite hand and go into cat and cow here while twisted. Exhale to flex your spine. Inhale, lift your spine, lift your sternum up towards the ceiling. Breathe out to flex and breathe in to extend. Pulling at your leg to help you. Exhale, flex. We're mobilizing the stiffest part of our spine for most of us, which is the thoracic spine. Inhale, extend. One more time, breathe out, flex. And breathe in, extend. Hold it here now. Take your arms out to the side as if you're really properly twisted. And then energize your left leg or this leg, whichever leg it is. Doesn't matter here. We're not doing separate things right to left, so whichever one you've got going is fine. Stretch and bend the leg if you're able to, while keeping the length of your spine. Stretch and bend. Stretch and bend. Stretch, bend, stretch and hold, and then come back to center. Let's do one more set of twists, but this time the leg lifts as we twist. Exhale, twist towards the leg that's lifting. Obviously, if you've got tight hamstrings, you're not able to sit tall, bend this other leg so you get a little bit more length, and don't stress about lifting this leg high at all. It could just hover above the ground. Exhale, twist, center, twist, center, twist, and relax. Well done. Cross your legs and twist as far as you can and just notice that freedom that you get. Let's go ahead and do the opposite side. So bend the right leg now, this leg. We're going to lengthen nice and tall. Exhale, twist as far as you can towards that leg. Inhale, come back to center. Breathe out, twist as far as you can. Now I know everybody cues different things with the breath for a spine twist. I prefer to twist on an exhale, but it's up to you. I just feel like I can go further. Explore twisting on an inhale and on an exhale, and you decide which one feels better for you. Now take your eyes to the right or to the direction that you're twisting, and then come back center. And notice any differences in how much you can rotate one side to the other. When I take my eyes to the right, I notice I can twist further. Hold it now, grab the leg and flex and extend here. Breathe out, flex. Inhale, extend and lift your breastbone. Breathe out to flex. Inhale, extend and lift. Breathe out, flex. Does your spine actually move when you rotate it, or does it feel blocked? Breathe out, flex. Inhale, extend. Hold the rotation now and stretch your leg and bend your leg. 8, 7, 6. What happens to your spine here? Do you start to really slouch? 5. Can you keep the lift through your sternum? 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Take the leg down. As you twist, lift the leg that you're twisting towards. 8. Exhale, twist. 7. Like you're trying to touch your hand to your foot, but your ribs are the ones turning, not just your arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. And relax. Cross your legs, and again notice if your range has improved. Okay, that was a warm-up for this one coming up. So sitting right at the front of your mat again, at this edge of the mat, you're going to roll down again, sitting on your jeans back pockets. Only go as low as you're getting rounder. If your lower back kisses the floor, great. Now, as you're coming up, we're coming up just to the C shape here. So we're going to come down to just go as low as our back gets rounder. If you kiss the floor, great. And then come up a little bit. So for some of you, it'll be just here and here, here and here, because you really want to feel like you're actually getting rounder in your spine in this position, and that you're balancing a book on your head. Yeah? So we're going a gentle scoop with the abdominals as we exhale. 7, 6, feel like your legs are getting longer in the opposite direction. 4, 3, arms reaching forward and long helps as well. 2, 1. Now as we come up, we're going to lift the left leg, and then as we come up, we lift the right. So just staying in that round C shape without losing the flexion. And long leg, not really coming up too high. 4, exhale. 3, or actually inhale to come up. Let's do exhale to go down, because you want to be rounder on the way down. And now twist towards the leg. Twist and twist. Twist as far as you can. 8, 7, exhale. 6, 5, exhale, twist. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. Lengthen, take your arms actually behind you, and then flex your feet. Go back to that cerebellum exercise. Your more coordinated side is going to point and flex. Your less coordinated side is going to circle. So typically for most of you, right foot is going to point and flex. Left leg is going to spiral around in circles. Can you coordinate these two at the same time? And if you're not, don't worry. Just give it some time and slow it down, and it will come. Change direction. And relax. And our coordination often goes when we're a little tired. So we're just going to challenge that a little bit now, doing the exact same thing. Sitting on the back of our sit bones. Take our legs up to like a teaser position. Actually, if your hamstrings are tight like mine, just have the legs bent. And then flex and point the right ankle. Feel free to straighten your legs if you're feeling energetic. And then circle your left ankle. And notice if anything changes when you're in this position, when you're feeling a bit of fatigue. And then change the direction. So I shouldn't say left and right. I should say flex and point your more coordinated side, and spiral and circles your less coordinated side. Awesome. Let's see if we can do that with the wrists going as well. So flex and point your more dominant, more coordinated side as you circle your less coordinated side. Can you do that at the same time? Change direction. Is it all too much now? As we get fatigued, we become less coordinated. Notice that. And then just for endurance muscle sake, let's come down and go up and twist for another 8. 8, 7, 6. Exhale as we go round it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Lay down on your back. We're going to do some glute work now with the bridges. So take a few deep breaths into your abdominals just to let them relax. After that, as you inhale, expand your tummy towards the ceiling. Really inflate your abdomen. Exhale, allow your organs to just feel heavy and sink. Inhale to expand the abdominals. And exhale to let everything feel heavy. And as the organs feel heavy, feel yourself go into a little bit of an imprint where your lower back just sinks into the floor. Peel your tailbone off, peel your lower back, peel your middle back until you come up to a bridge position. And in this bridge position, make sure that your shins feel very vertical and they're not too far away. So your feet should feel like you're standing on them and your knees are reaching to the opposite side of the room. Helium balloons are lifting your hip bones up to the ceiling, and you've got a nice soft rib cage and open collarbones. Now this exercise could feel very easy, but if you start to really pull your heels towards your bottom as if you're going to drag the mat, you'll start to actually feel your glutes and hamstrings working. So really pull your glutes and hamstrings. Keep your breath slow. Breath nice and slow. But the legs very energized. Really feel the backs of your thighs and your glutes working to do that hamstring curl. Take a nice big inhale here. Widen your sitting bones as you roll down to release. Okay. Pressing down into the feet again. Imagine your feet are wide, big. Send the knees away from you. Helium balloons are lifting your hip bones up. Rib cage is soft. Take a moment here by really pushing your left foot strongly into the floor and spring your right leg up to tabletop. And hold that right leg in tabletop, keeping your hip bones level and your both sides of the waist long for 5, 4. If your right leg is up, lift your right hip bone higher because it's going to want to drop. Your right waist is going to want to get shorter. Keep the right waist long. And then softly take the foot back down to the floor. Press strongly into the right foot against the floor to make the left leg feel lighter as it springs up. And hold here for 5, 4. Keep the left hip bone lifted and the left waist long. 3, 2, 1. Take the foot to the floor and then roll down vertebra by vertebra. Have a go now at just picking the hips up in one go and then taking the tailbone down in one block in a neutral spine. So we're just lifting and lowering. Squeeze the bottom and lift. Bring your sit bones together. Widen your sit bones as you flat down. So you're coming up, sit bones together. You come down, the sit bones widen. Come up, sit bones come together. Come down, sit bones widen. So lift, lower. Spine is just in neutral, coming up and down in a block. We're going to add some cerebellum coordination in a second. Lift, lower. If you feel any discomfort in your knee at all, it may be that your feet are too close to you, or put your feet on a surface to elevate them a little bit, like on the sofa even. Put your feet on the sofa if you like. 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. Press down strongly into your left foot against the floor and spring your right leg up to the ceiling. And as we lower our bottom down, we're going to flex the foot and notice that nerve tension coming through the spinal cord to your hamstring. And then as we come out, we're going to point the foot. So it's like you're trying to point your foot and hook your toes on the ceiling, or in my case, this birdhouse. So I'm going to hook my toes on the birdhouse and then I come down. Ready? So we come up 1. This is with the more dominant side, actually. With your more dominant side, with your more coordinated side. Exhale it. 8. 7. Don't let the supporting knee open out to the side. 6. Don't worry about coming up too high at all. 5. 4. If you've got quite short legs, definitely put your feet on an elevated surface like the sofa. 3. Because you'll feel like your bottom isn't lifting very high at all. 2. Hold it. 1. Lower and lift the leg. 8. Keep the bottom level. Don't worry about how high the bottom is. 7. 6. You should feel your left glute and hamstring, or the supporting legs glute and hamstring. 3. 2. 1. Hold it at the top. Take the foot down and relax. Now we're going to lift into a bridge again. This time press very strongly into the right foot. Spring your left leg up to the ceiling, or your less coordinated side goes up to the ceiling. Start to circle your ankle here. And then as you come down, you flex the foot. As you come up, you point, but it's still circling. So just hit the lowering and lifting as you're circling your ankling. Just to add a little bit more spiral, more coordination to get the cerebellum's attention on this side. Change direction of the ankle circle. Notice what happens to the rest of the body. Is your supporting knee trying to fall out? And then hold it at the top. Lower the leg so that it's in line with the other thigh. It's a little bit advanced, but have a go. Circling here. 8. 7. Keeping the bottom high. 6. How smooth is the circle? 5. 4. 3. 2. Change direction. Circle. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Take the foot down and then rest. Hug the knees and relax. Take your left leg across your right. Take your arms out to the side. And as you exhale, send your left foot towards the floor. And then come back to center. Exhale, send your left foot towards the floor. Come back to center. So you're twisting while doing this glute stretch. Hold. Come back to center. Last time, hold. Take a few breaths here with the foot resting on the floor. Head can look in the opposite direction if you like. Really open your rib cage here. Allow the breath to expand into the left ribs. And then switch sides. Almost done with the class. We just got some push-up set. And then standing neuro exercises to finish. Really open the right knee out to the side now. And send your right foot towards the floor. Come back to center. Send the right foot. It's getting warmer here. I'm getting lots and lots of flies. That's why I keep doing this. Twist to the right. Send your head in the opposite direction. And then hold the stretch. Take a few breaths, breathing into the right rib cage. And relax. Grab the backs of your thighs, come up into this position here. With your hands, they could be pointing, let's have them pointing either sideways or facing backwards, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Step into your feet and lift your bottom into this little table position. It doesn't have to be super high, just comfortable. You're going to thread your left leg down to come into a box position like this, with your knees hovering above the ground. And then you're going to thread your right leg underneath to come into this table position here. So we're spinning and turning because the cerebellum lives right next to your vestibular system, so you can get a lot of stimulation in your cerebellum from these rolls. So you're going to thread your left leg underneath as you come into a all fours hovered position, and then thread your right leg underneath as you come into a table position. Thread your left leg underneath as you come into an all fours position. Thread your right leg underneath to come into this position. Let's do 4, 4, and 3, you're turning, and 2, and 1. Notice if you're dizzy at all or not. Let's change direction. Now the left leg threads underneath, we come onto our back. The right foot threads underneath and it plants. Left leg threads underneath and it plants. I hope I'm making sense. I'm not sure if the wording helps. Thread, thread, like you're walking around. Thread, thread. Let's do 4 more. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Hold it. Take a mini rest in child's pose. And from child's pose, we're going to do our last bit of work before we stand to do 1 or 2 neuro exercises to finish. Come into a box, do a push-up, up again, back to child's pose. Up, push, up. If you're feeling energetic and you want to do full push-ups, the way you're going to do it is like this. You're going to go downward dog, plank, push up, back to downward dog. So either child pose to push up if your knees are on the floor, or downward dog to push up if you're in the air. And we'll do 8 or so. It's up to you, but keep the breath flowing. Feel the energy as you push the ground away from you. Last one. And then walk your hands towards your feet. Roll up 1 vertebra at a time. And we're going to finish the class with areas that specifically, neurological exercises that specifically target the cerebellum, the midline cerebellum in particular, which is our convergence exercise. So if you can go ahead and take your thumb out in front of you, really, really close. Bring it, actually start with it far away. Bring it only as close to your nose as your thumb stays one thumb and doesn't get blurry or doesn't split into 2. And stare at your thumb at that point, just before it gets blurry and just before it splits into 2. And really stare at it with both eyes. Noticing if it's starting to get fatiguing. Start to draw some small circles here with your eyes following your thumb. Change direction. Now circle the thumb moving away from you. Circle the thumb in the opposite direction moving towards you. Keep tracking the thumb with your eyes. Don't lose your thumb. Move it away from you, spiraling it away. This is really good for activating the part of the brain that controls our posture, our brain, but can also actually help with attention, concentration, focus, because there's many parts of the brain that are involved in this. And relax. Just take a roll down and see how your spine feels compared to the beginning of the class. Drop your chin to your chest. Roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Notice if your range of motion has increased, decreased, stayed the same. Roll up. Check your thoracic rotation compared to the beginning of the class. Extend back. Take a twist squat. Rotate as far as you can. Can you go further than you did in the warm-up? Come back to center and lift. Back to soft extension. Twist. Can you go further in your rotation on the other side? Come back down, lift, And relax. And well done. Thank you everybody for joining today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And oh, sorry about the glasses, Barbara. Yeah, do it with what you have most of the day on. So if you're always with glasses, then do these exercises with glasses. And that's your homework with your toothbrush if you're interested in improving the function of your cerebellum or your concentration or focus. Have a lovely day, everyone. Happy Eid, and take care. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.